Doesn't RLUSD make XRP obsolete? I bet everybody has heard this question a lot lately, huh? It does not. But instead of just saying so, I'll explain why in this episode of Crypto News in a Flash. So, cross-border payments, there is a conversion process where the stablecoin that represents your currency will be sent to the recipient person, then converted over to the stablecoin in their currency. Let's use Japan and USA, for example. You want to send money to your friend in Japan using RippleNet and RLUSD. You send 100 RLUSD to Satoshi Nakamoto in Japan. RippleNet uses their auto-bridging feature, which automatically converts RLUSD to XRP, makes the transfer, then converts XRP to RLJPY, which will be Japan's version of Ripple's stablecoin. RLJPY will be pegged to the yen, the same way that RLUSD is pegged to the United States dollar. Now, why does RippleNet auto-bridge these transactions? Why don't they just swap directly from RLUSD to RLJPY? Great question, and I'll explain. The simple answer is cheaper, more stable transactions. The elaborate answer, it's all about liquidity pools. Let me tie this together for you. Liquidity pools are quite literally pools of money funded by people or institutions so exchanges can quickly swap or sell coins. This way, you don't have to wait for a buyer or a seller. I have a friend in Myanmar. Whenever he wants to trade, he has to search a list of potential buyers, sellers, or swaps. When nobody's offering what he needs, he just can't do the transaction. So he waits, sometimes hours or more. Liquidity pools allow us to transact instantly, but the funds are not infinite. Large transactions or lots of transactions can and will affect the price of the coins in that pool. This is called a spread. Prices shifting because the pools are stretched thin. So to make swaps from one coin to another, you need liquidity pools to handle the swaps, which means for each pair of stablecoins, you would need liquidity pools for each and every stablecoin combination you have. Let's consider the top 5. United States dollar, Japan dollar, the euro, Australia dollar, Canadian dollar. You would need liquidity pool combinations for each pair, and it would look something like this, which breaks down to 10 different combinations and 10 different liquidity pools. And just remember that with large adoption, there's 180 different currencies in the world. And each of these 10 pools need liquidity. And the more liquidity, the cheaper, more reliable each swap is. And like I said before, doing large or lots of swaps affect the spread, fluctuating the price depending on the size of the transactions versus the available liquidity in the pool. If you have 10,000 coins in a liquidity pool and you swap for 5,000, this affects the price since it's a large portion of the pool. This could cause a price swing. We'll say 10% for this example, just to keep numbers rounded. But if the liquidity pool has 100,000 coins available for a swap of 5,000, then the spread may only be 1%. The same as if there was 1,000,000 available in the pool, then it could theoretically be 0.1%. This means the money lost during the spread is less due to the large availability of the liquidity in the pool. This example being 0.1% if there was 1,000,000 for 5,000. Now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, what does all this mean and how does this tie together with XRP? Like I said before, RippleNet auto bridges these transactions into XRP. The reason, the reduced amount of liquidity pools required. Where before we needed 10 for all the combinations, now you could theoretically only need 5. Quite literally half the amount, but that's not accurate either. I only wanted to show you this list so it would make sense compared to the list you previously saw hanging up there. But here's the truth and the best part. With XRP, there is only one liquidity pool, not 10, not 5. And it would look something like this. This means the liquidity pool is larger, more reliable, more stable, with less spread. This both adds tons of value to XRP as well as making the use of Ripple minted stablecoins cheaper, faster, more efficient. And just for further clarifications on stablecoins, the name itself is actually a little misleading because in actuality, they are not stable. They're just pegged to a dollar. With me being someone who's personally handled arbitrage across multiple countries and multiple currencies, I can promise you the US dollar and other countries' dollars are not stable. They fluctuate a lot, especially compared to the currencies of other countries. But this is precisely what XRP solves. The price is universal. Yes, there will be different liquidity pools providing different exchanges with a slight spread differences. But overall, The value is the same no matter what country you're in. This is where the true stability of using XRP for cross-border payments comes from. Once you understand everything I explained in this video, you will finally get it that RLUSD is not a replacement for XRP. It's complementary. It may not look like it, but I do put a lot of work in my videos, and I would truly appreciate a follow, like, share, bookmark, repost. All those things really help the algorithm. And if you're newer to crypto, I have a playlist called New to Crypto. I highly suggest you check it out. And if you guys really wanted to help support me, anything you buy from my showcase shop really helps me as a creator. I appreciate you guys so much. Wealth, love, and authenticity to you all.